Live from Paradise Studios in New York, Strong Island Television presents Under the Radar, starring Randy Unger. Brought to you by Magnitude Jewelry. Add a 2 to match your attitude. Tonight, Randy will be interviewing filmmaker Matthew Wollin of the new thriller, The Skin of the Teeth. Randy will also be reviewing the new films We Have Always Lived in the Castle and John Wick, Chapter 3, Parabellum, with special guest critics Caitlin Crawley, Dan Shaggy GB, and Thomas Puglisi. And now, here's your host, Randy Unger.
Hey guys, I'm Randy Unger, and this is another edition of Under the Radar, where we talk all things film. And right now, I have a filmmaker right next to me, Mr. Matthew Wollin of the new thriller, I'd call it? Yeah, I think so. Okay. Thriller, The Skin of the Teeth. Welcome to join it.
Thank you. Thank
Welcome.
you so much for having me. It's great to be here.
It's great. So it's a really interesting film. I'd call it a thriller.
I think so. I've been saying psychological thriller.
Okay.
My co-producer liked to call it an identity thriller, which is cool, but nobody knows what it is, so I've been staying away from that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that's generally...
Thriller's like the general term.
Yes. Yep.
So how did the film originally come about?
That's a great question, and it's really hard to answer.
Okay, do your best.
No, yeah, I'm always terrible at that question.
Okay.
But when I write and when I think about things, I tend to mull over things for a very long time. And with this one, it's as you've seen the film, so you know that there's a lot of different aspects to it.
Yeah.
And there's kind of two halves to it. There's a kind of more, I would say, conventional half, and then there's a more surreal, stranger half.
Yeah, I got that.
And so I have these two halves in my mind together, and the key was really how to fit them together.
Right.
And all that was happening, and I wrote it too, it was right after the presidential election too. And so a lot of the tension in the air and those topics, I think, made their way into the film too. Right. So it was really pulling from a lot of different places.
It starts out, two guys are on a date. There's some kind of scuffle, some kind of confusion. There's drugs involved.
Yep.
A death is involved. And now this young guy who's on the date is being interrogated throughout most of the film.
Yeah.
And strange things happen in this interrogation room.
Yeah, it's a lot of
Not
strange
to give
things
anything
happen.
away, but it's a strange one.
Yeah, I mean, I love strange movies
good.
too, as you can tell.
Yeah.
I mean, I think also it was fun too because we're working with such a low budget, it's such a small thing. I found it really fun to figure out how to do those strange things, in a way that was compelling without special effects or anything. Just kind of finding the strangeness, not just in everything that happens, but in how people see things, and that really becoming a theme of the film.
And yes, computer-generated image effects aren't really a part of this movie.
No.
It's all
We've got a few masks. That's
masks,
enough.
some costumes there with the masks. But it's really about the characters and the acting that really shines through. And like you said, you took a very simple story and you made it very compelling and interesting with it not really doing much. Just focusing on the actors, interacting, and see where the script takes them.
Yeah, I mean, thank you. I agree that the actors did a great job, and it's a tricky thing. I feel like I gave them a hard task to do, because anytime this movie, it has a very specific level of reality, at any given point. Sometimes it's very real, sometimes it's very unreal, and that changes in a very kind of deliberate way throughout the film. And getting the actors to react to that in the right way is really essential. They have to know what kind of reality they're in and let the audience know how they should be reacting. And so that was, they did a very good job with that.
And did you, before the shooting started, coach the actors, tell them, this is going to be a strange trip.
Yeah.
Are you ready to take this trip?
If we had more time or money, then yes, I would have.
Okay.
But the reality was, we shot it so quickly, we had so little money that I saw the actors for casting, and then the next time I saw them was when we shot the movie. Okay. So there wasn't really rehearsal or anything. So,
wow.
Which makes it, I think, all the more impressive that they did a good job, because they basically had a couple of takes to nail it.
That's phenomenal.
Yeah. I think with a lot of casting, and especially with something that shoots this fast, a lot of the right casting is just choosing the right people, and so that they didn't have to be somebody they weren't. It was just about them being themselves in this weird situation, kind of taking that in and reacting to it.
What was the casting process like?
It was pretty straightforward. We posted online, got a bunch of submissions, kind of winnowed through for our favorite ones. Though, to be honest, once I saw all of the main people, even not like basically all the actors in the movie, once I saw their video auditions, it was pretty clear to me that they were the ones that were going to be right for the role.
Okay.
They just kind of clicked in that particular way.
Pascal.
Yep.
Archimedes.
Yeah.
How did you discover this guy? He's great.
He is great. He's super young, too. I mean, he just graduated, basically. He's just kind of starting out as an actor. And he had, I think, the hardest task of all, because his role is, it's both the main character, and it's a very reactive role at the same time. You know, it's a lot of him watching strange things happen and trying to figure out his way through that, which is a really hard thing as an actor to do, is to react. Like observe in an interesting way that tells a story about a character, and he does that. And I think it helps that he's just like naturally a very charismatic person. And it was
But he just wanted to go out on a date.
Yeah.
And all this horrible stuff is happening to him.
I think, I mean, definitely the movie plays into, I think, a lot of those fears now of, like, you know, I feel like you know people less when you meet up with them for a date nowadays, because it's usually online from some format, and, you know.
But this wasn't a first date. This was like the second one, right?
It was a second. It's intentionally a little bit unclear in the movie, I think. I did spend a while when I was writing it trying to figure out exactly how well they knew each other. And I think when I watch the movie as a viewer now, because I can't remember what I intended back when I wrote it, I see them as being, they kind of like hooked up or
casual,
had a date. And now
friends
they're
with benefits type of thing.
And now they're kind of sorting out if they're actually going to date, or like what the relationship is going to be.
And that's when things go, off the rails, basically.
Yes, which is at a point when it's already like they're already feeling tense and awkward, and then it's just kind of like every tension and awkwardness that's already inherent in that situation just explodes to crazy. Yeah,
so good. Now, I'm curious, this has a strong David Lynch feel to it. Was that one of your inspirations? Or what are some of your filmmaker influences?
Yeah, I mean, I love David Lynch, and I think that's pretty clear in this. I wasn't thinking about David Lynch so much when I made this movie, but I like him so much that I think that sensibility probably... I guess the most David Lynch thing that I took into this movie was making, like, dream logic, logic that kind of makes sense because it feels right, versus logic where it's like...
Like a lucid dream?
Yeah, where it's like narrative...
Because this movie does kind of feel that way.
Totally.
Yeah.
I think I described it in some of my stuff as a fever dream, which lucid dream feels right.
Okay.
But yeah, that sense that like when something happens next, it makes sense not because it's the conventional thing, but because it just makes some weird emotional sense the next thing that happens. Some other things, some other movies I was thinking about for this, there's this Martin Scorsese movie called After Hours from the 90s.
Oh yeah, Griffin Dunn.
Yeah,
that's good.
Which also is like about a night that starts off very normal and like gets very strange and then returns to exactly where it started. And so that kind of narrative structure. People also ask me often, because right when I wrote this was right after that HBO series The Night Of came out, which it's about a guy who, I haven't actually watched it because it was too similar and it was throwing me off. But it's about a guy who kind of like, he doesn't know what happened, but he's associated with a crime, and then he like has to deal with being interrogated. And
wrong man.
Exactly.
Also, a little bit of Alfred Hitchcock in this. Too.
Yeah, I'll totally take that.
Yeah.
I mean,
like a modern Hitchcock.
Yeah, Hitchcock is somebody I look to for like filmmaking technique. I think above just for like visual storytelling. How to like make sense and tell stories in a visual ways. And I very much like, he's somebody I look to as like a textbook in that way for how to do stuff.
Cool. Curious, I ask this of all my interviewees pretty much. What are some of your all-time favorite movies?
That's a good question. You think I'd have a better answer given that I'm a filmmaker?
Top three, if you can.
No, that's fine. For a long time, I think Blue Velvet was one of my favorite movies.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
When I was a kid, for a long time too, I don't know if this is true anymore, but 2001, like Kubrick. Was
as a kid, really?
In like high school or middle school.
Yeah, I remember. That's when I discovered Kubrick.
Yeah, kid. I'm using kid very liberally, I suppose. I remember being sick on the couch and watching that movie and just like not knowing what the hell was going on.
Half sedated.
Exactly.
It's awesome.
Yeah, and then I also honestly I love like big Hollywood movies too. For a long time, so again, like in high school and stuff, like The Lord of the Rings was like one of my favorite movies too.
Nice, cool.
Yeah, so kind of all over the map.
2001. It's like my go-to movie if I ever need like to fall asleep. Yes. I put that movie on.
You can have weird dreams if you do that.
Yeah, it's so good in that respect. It's like warm milk. I'd call it. So back to the film. I'm curious. What were some challenges you guys faced on set?
Everything, I'd say. I mean, the biggest one was it was so incredibly hot. So we shot it at the end of July and early August.
Was this in New York?
Yeah,
okay.
in Bushwick. And a lot of the room takes place in a lot of the movie takes place in a windowless room, and the room in reality, it was just this small windowless room, and there was no air conditioning, and it was like, however many of us packed into there for like 2 weeks.
And that one location.
And we're there just all
That's
the time.
most of the film, too.
And it was just so, you can't tell when you watch the movie, thank God, but it was just like, everybody was pouring sweat. I was like mildly worried somebody was going to pass out. It was just so hot.
Reminds me of that scene in when they're making the room in The Disaster Artist.
I haven't seen it.
Oh, there's a scene where an older lady, an actress, she passes out during filming because there's no air conditioning. And it's like sweltering.
That was very similar to us, except nobody did, and it's a better movie.
Good.
So I would say than
Blood, Sweat, and Tears, huh?
Yeah. So a lot of it was just that, and then time. There's just because we had no time. Everything was 2 or 3 takes basically, and that was it. And the last day, I remember we were going way over, and like lots of crucial stuff needed. So. It was just everything was...
How many days did you shoot?
12 or 13.
Really?
Something like that.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. So you would call this an indie film, an indie thriller?
Yeah. I don't know how it could get much more indie than this, in terms of the making of, at least.
But I looked up on IMDb. It's not just a drama thriller. It also says comedy in there, too.
I'm into that. Yeah.
Yeah?
I feel like black comedy.
Black
sure.
comedy?
I think some people get that for whatever reason. Some people see it more as like an absurdist comedy than others. Like I have 1 or 2 friends, and when I've seen it in a theater, this is one of those things where seeing with other people makes a difference, you know, because if somebody laughs, then other people feel okay laughing.
Yeah.
I think there's a lot of really absurd things that happen in the movie, and I think they're funny, but I think a lot of people just find them really off-putting.
Yeah.
which is also good.
Like the detective and the DA, I mean the public defender.
Yeah.
And wearing the mask, they never really explain that. I mean, should I be laughing at this? I don't know.
Exactly. I think a lot of the movie is really intentionally on that line of like figuring out how, like you're supposed to try and figure out what's going on as you're watching it. Right. It's not a movie where you're supposed to know what everything means.
Right.
And I think
it's very abstract.
Very abstract.
Yeah, psychological.
And so some people, I think, end up finding parts of it funnier, and some people find it more unsettling. And both reactions are great to me.
Okay.
So yeah.
That's cool. Do you see this turning into a franchise at all, or similar films in your mind?
I don't know how this particular narrative could possibly turn anything. This narrative feels very complete to me in terms of the filmmaking style. I just finished writing a new script a few weeks ago, and I would say in terms of the slight unreality of the story, it's a little bit similar. It's not quite as strange as this. It's not as dark. It's a very different tone. Okay. But I do like playing with kind of how people see things and like trying to make sense of strangeness, and so it does that in a different way.
Can you talk more about that this upcoming?
Yeah, for sure. I'm not very good at describing it because I just finished it really.
Okay.
It's kind of like an unconventional low-key sci-fi thing, I would say, like almost like a sci-fi romance, but not super heavy on the romance part.
Okay.
I
would love to see a sci-fi movie from you, actually.
Yeah, I mean, it feels very natural, I think, in lots of ways from this. When I'm thinking of like references from movies when I was writing it, I don't know if you're familiar, like The Lathe of Heaven, this book by Ursula Le Guin. It was also a movie.
Okay.
That's about this guy who dreams and his dreams become reality.
Sort of like Total Recall-ish?
A little bit, less explosions, I would say. Primer was like a little bit of a reference for me. Nice. So that kind of like sci-fi, but it's in the world and it's strange rather
like
than
the distant future, like not too distant future.
No, this is present.
It was present.
Yeah.
Okay,
it's just somebody discovers something new.
All right.
Yeah,
that's good. So, what do you hope audiences take away from The Skin of the Teeth?
Yeah, I hope that my answer to this is I hope that people kind of can't get it out of their head, even if they don't know why they can't get it out of their head. You know, like I hope that it stays with them, and they're even if they can't make sense of it, they remember it. Like
Eraserhead.
Yeah, I would love for people to. For me, this movie is really about identity, and it's about how people decide who they are, and particularly in the context of like stereotypes or just taking in things from the outside world. And so I would love for people to kind of reflect on their own identity and how they see the world and what is real and what is not. And also I hope they just enjoy it too, because I think it's fun. Yeah.
I had no idea there was a deeper meaning behind this movie.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Lots of deeper
I think I have to revisit it.
By all means, yeah.
Well, Matthew, tell everyone, how can they see the film?
Yeah. So it was just released last week on Amazon. So you can go watch it on Amazon. It's called The Skin of the Teeth. You can also follow it on Twitter, Instagram, all the socials. It's at Skin of the Teeth, and the website is skinoftheteeth.com. We're very consistent with the branding.
That's awesome. And aside from your new script, are there any other projects or stuff you're working on you want to talk about?
That's it for the moment. It was this one. Just got it to the finish line, so I'm just kind of just starting to think about the next thing now.
That's great. Well, the film is great. I hope everyone sees it. And congratulations.
Great. Thank you so much, and thanks for having me.
Anytime. All right, guys, so we're going to take a short commercial break, but we'll be back with our film review segment right after this.
Under the Radar is brought to you by Magnitude Jewelry. Add a 2 to match your attitude. Patent pending interchange genuine gemstone and crystal EMF protection jewelry. For more information, please visit magnitudejewelry.com/gemgirl or call.
Hey guys, welcome back to Under the Radar. I'm your host Randy Unger, and it's our film review segment. And I've got a full couch today. I've got newcomer Mr. Thomas Puglisi. I finally got it.
Thank you, Randy.
Yeah, welcome.
9 tries.
Yeah. I know. Caitlin Crowley, hello again.
Hi.
And Mr. Dan Shaggy GB, loving the shirt. This is great. Little Tribeca Ghostbusters love.
I didn't see that.
That's awesome. Where'd you get that?
From actually my friend Frankie. I had a long time ago when I actually decided I wanted to play music. I was in a band with him, and I recently just sent him a copy of our disc. We were at the time inside Hollow, and we played the CD we had was called the Lazarus Pit.
Okay.
And basically it was it was a mixture of
Ra's al Ghul,
technically, yeah. Well, I didn't know how to
Why
pronounce
haven't I heard this yet?
Well, you've heard the CD.
It's an Under the Radar first, right here.
There you go.
But we had a lot of songs that were actually like Marvel, DC related. We had like a song that was called Brooding, which was about Batman. There was one that was about Green Lantern, the Incredible Hulk, Iron Man.
And you played in this band?
Yep, I used to play bass and used to do a
many
lot of
moons
things.
ago, right? You don't.
Oh, many
Many
years.
Many moons.
Let's see the back. I want to see the back of it.
Oh yeah, it just if anything, it just says hook and ladder. Ghostbuster hook and
That's
ladder.
awesome.
So that's about it. Nothing too extravagant, but yeah, my friend Frankie, because he was thanking me for sending him the CD. He sent me this. I actually still got to text him and say, "Hey, dude, thanks for the shirt.
That's awesome. Some
effing
swag.
amazing."
You can call him out now and be
Frankie,
like, hey,
Frank
thanks.
Appicelli, you see this? Definitely. Thank you so
Thanks for
much.
the
This is
shirt.
amazing.
Dan's extensive network. It's
Yes,
great. I love it.
My extended thousands upon thousands of people that I somehow talk to somewhere at some time.
Nice. All right, guys. So we have 2 films today, very different films. Yes, Dan, question?
I use film loosely on that.
You didn't like it?
What happened in it?
I don't know, but I
I'm
kind of
still
liked
confused.
it. I enjoyed it.
I liked it to a point, but I have no idea what happened.
It is a mystery. That's how they label it.
Mystery? It's a mystery on the whole movie. I didn't know what was going on. Apparently
how
she
they
was
filmed
dead
the
at one
damn
point, and I was like, I don't know.
Maybe we need to all read the book. I don't know.
There was a book.
This is based on a novel. It's called We Have Always Lived in the Castle, and it's based on Shirley Jackson's novel of the same name. And basically it tells the story of a very strange, reclusive family in the middle of nowhere in a mansion. And many years ago, there was a death in the family, but no one really knows how the death occurred and who did it. And now the whole town is like trying to figure out what the hell's going on, and they like chase them out of the town. There's a fire at one point. There's death here, death there, and
Bucky
Crispin
Barnes,
Glover.
and Bucky Barnes was there.
Yeah,
I
Sebastian
was
Stan.
just like, wait,
like,
Bucky's...
hey, Bucky!
He was watching, I was like, that's Bucky. What's going on in this movie now?
Bucky, well, Sebastian Stan, he plays this long-lost cousin. We don't even know if he's really... Probably not.
I'm 100% sure
I
he's
got
not.
that.
Who comes to the family, he's trying to, like,
Schmooze.
screw them out of money.
He's schmoozing. Okay, he's definitely
Falls in
not
love
part
with
of
the girl.
Yeah,
One of the
he's
girls.
schmoozing the cousin, which
Yeah.
we haven't really. Well, we've seen that so many times. You watch Game of Thrones, but at the same time, this is not. This is like looks like it's taking place in the 1920s. So
Yeah, something like that.
But I really
No!
like that atmosphere kind of vibe it had.
Yeah, it was like a nice retro... I think it was like maybe the 40s or 50s. It's hard to tell. Definitely not in modern
It's not
day.
20s, but it's
know.
it's
It's
40s,
something.
50s
Yeah.
almost.
Something. They never
They
really...
have gas stoves, so it can't be like the...
Yeah, they never really...
and they got
say.
they got cars.
Yeah.
Well, of
They
course,
have
like,
cars
I
and
just really
stuff.
liked seeing Crispin Glover in the movie.
Yeah.
That's
I mean,
really the only reason I picked this movie, because of Crispin.
Crispin actually.
But he was
like
barely in it, though.
yeah.
I mean...
but at the same time, you didn't know it was him. You looked at the like him as the character, and you
Oh,
were
I
like,
knew it was him. I mean,
"Oh no, I
he
knew
just
it
has
was
a mustache.
him." I knew it was him.
He's older, yeah.
like you said, like the chin. You can be like, "Oh, that's Crispin Glover," but at the same time, like his demeanor and the way that he acted
Yeah.
actually was like it was a completely different character, or a different person than what he usually plays.
Well, he's an artist. He likes to become the character. Do you remember in the 80s when he was on David Letterman and he basically was in character as from what was it, River's Edge?
Yeah,
Oh,
River's Edge.
God.
And he like was doing like karate in front of Letterman, almost kicked him in the head.
Yeah, yeah, no,
It's
Priceless.
a real thing. YouTube
Priceless.
that. Yeah.
I've
He's
seen
a
it many
meth-
times.
Yeah,
Many,
yeah.
many
he's a
times.
method actor.
Yeah, he's a wacko.
Yes, he is.
He should.
That's the best actors.
Yep.
That's true.
The ones that can't figure out reality from whatever.
Yeah. True artist. True.
Yes. People that can't they lose themselves so far into their art.
As a matter of fact, like, I remember him of course, in the fourth Friday the 13th movie.
That was like,
forget
you're
about
right,
his
he gets-
crazy
Hey,
dance.
Doesn't he
which-
get killed in the kitchen?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was in that?
Oh, yeah.
He's one of the teenagers that gets killed. Yeah, yeah.
Oh, yeah. But heck, like, I just remember his crazy dance, which I've actually heard he actually made up on the spot.
Oh.
So,
There's
That's
some
wow.
good improv
That's like one of his
stuff that
first
actually-
roles, I think.
yeah.
That was '84, I think. Next year
84,
did Back
yes.
to the Future.
Yeah, I kind
I
of find
love
it funny.
improv. I love hearing like improving things.
Yeah.
Like the best one was Indiana Jones. That was my favorite.
Still.
Like the whole scene where he's like the guys in the marketplace, everybody parts, and the
Oh.
swordsman guy comes. He's just like, no, boom. That was totally not supposed to happen.
I know. Wait, but how did they film it? The guy with the sword kind of knew. I mean, he fell over.
Well,
I
he
mean,
knew it was going to happen.
He knew it was
but
going to happen.
Uh-huh.
But
they-
what was it?
Well, the whole story was that he had 100
and 3
and-
fever.
yeah, and
he was
he's-
ill. Like,
Wait, Ford or the
Ford
Ford.
was so ill during that, and he had like 103 fever. He just threw up and then walked onto the scene to shoot. And he was like, "I'm not fighting this guy." Boom.
Originally, he was gonna like
he was
grab
gonna
a sword.
fight
Yeah.
and
Uh-huh.
grab the sword, and he was
Interesting.
like, "No, I'm not dealing with this." And that was the best.
That's
improv
one of the best
I've ever
gags
heard.
in the movie for sure.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, Thomas, what did you think of this movie? I mean,
Well, I personally liked it.
Okay,
I mean,
okay.
like, I really liked the atmosphere, the mystery. I mean,
I'll give you
it was-
atmosphere.
yeah. I mean, I really liked it. It was kind of a movie that made you think.
Yeah.
Because I'm just into those kind of movies. that
yeah, you're
you,
like
you know-
invested in the character. Like you want to see what happens next.
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, that's good. Cool.
I mean, that's the only reason why I kept watching it. 'Cause I wanted to know what happens next. I still didn't understand it. I was like,
I had to
what
watch-
happens now?
I had to literally watch the ending 3 times because I fell asleep the first 2.
Oh,
And I was like, I still don't really know what happened. I'll give I'm with you on that one.
Doesn't that give you a hint?
But even though it wasn't a terrific movie, it had some good performances.
It did.
Yes.
It
Production
did.
value was good. Atmosphere was fantastic.
Yeah.
The atmosphere was fantastic.
Yeah.
Everything that was set for like the scenes and everything else, that
Yeah.
was very good for me. The lighting and the camera angles actually also really got me into the movie as well, which is a very strange.
Like in the house, like
In the house,
Yeah.
the different lighting, certain things that like this person was a darker scene, this person was in the light, foreshadowing, yada yada yada. Which
yeah.
that's what also dragged me in because it was just so aesthetically pleasing to see.
Yeah.
Even though I had no clue what was going on. But I liked it. I wish if I knew what was going on, I think I would like it a lot more.
yeah.
Yeah, that's a shame. It's a shame. But I'll give credit to Taisa Farmiga.
No.
She's the weird girl with the braids.
Yeah.
She's actually the not the daughter, but the younger sister, much younger sister
Yeah.
of Vera Farmiga, who you know from like The Departed, and
Yes.
I think she's been in The Conjuring.
Conjuring,
Yeah, yeah,
Bates
yeah.
Motel.
Nice. She does all these like thriller horror movies. Actually,
Yeah.
she's kind of like typecast in a way.
I kept calling her Annabelle for like the longest time. I'm like, this is how, like she's like, what's
It
going on?
fits.
I'm like, I don't know, but they're making Annabelle right now. That's how it's going.
I was like, this is how Annabelle comes to be.
Oh no. It's a weird one, and if you're diehard fans of Crispin Glover, I'd say go see it. Dan, see it or skip it.
Say see it, but go in there knowing you're gonna be literally
With
lost.
an open mind.
No, you'll be lost.
Keep your mind like a playing field. Like, that's how clear you need to be with
Yeah.
this.
Yeah, don't go into any mazes because this is one of those.
Yeah. You hit a tree and you're done.
This is like that joke that they have. A cornfield maze for a blonde is one stalk of corn. That is how lost I was.
Excuse me.
Shush, I'm not going to
Jesus.
make fun of you. I'm not making fun of your blondness.
Well, Dan, what do you think of Bucky? Sebastian
Bucky was
Stan.
good. I immediately
This is
was
the
like,
first non-Bucky role I've seen him.
yes.
By the way.
I was like, he had the role, the way that he was playing his role. I was very like, this guy is just like, he's like a complete a-hole.
He's slimy, yeah.
He is like, he's the greasiest
He's a-
greaseball you
Right,
ever
right,
think
right.
about.
Snake in the grass.
And he did it great.
Yes, which is beautiful. Which he usually never plays characters like this, where
No.
he's such a slime that you're
Well,
like,
Bucky had a dark side to him.
I was just going to say, Bucky was
Well,
a
no,
little
in-
slimy at one point.
when?
He was.
Do you want to rewatch Captain Marvel?
Let's rewatch all of them right now.
Right now. I will sit up and wait.
Captain Marvel?
I mean,
Captain America.
Captain America, sorry.
From Marvel Studios.
Thank you.
Well, no, I definitely will say
getting
yeah. But no, but it was more like the joking
myself?
slime.
Thomas, were you a fan of Sebastian Stan in the Marvel movies?
Yeah, he was pretty cool. The Winter Soldier.
I mean,
come on.
compared to that, like, how did you like him in this?
Well, I mean, it was quite different.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah, just a little bit.
Yeah.
He has both arms.
Yeah.
Both arms. He doesn't
thought
have a
he had
mask
both
covering half
arms.
his face either.
Right.
Shorter hair as well.
True. But I'd actually like to see more of this actor. He was good.
He was very good.
He's got like a unique, kind of like a Leonardo DiCaprio kind of vibe, but mixed with like Colin Farrell, kind of that dark.
He's
No?
like,
I wouldn't go
I
that
feel
far.
like,
No, not that far.
I feel like he's the actor that you're like, I know that guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like, you know he's good, but you know that guy.
Yeah.
You know, like,
It's
he's
not like
that
he's
He's got
kind
that
of
face,
actor.
that aura about
You'll
him.
always
Yeah.
be like, oh God, I know him from this.
Yeah.
It's never like he's gonna be defined by one role for a while until he
Yeah.
breaks that role. Well,
Until he really shows. Like,
yeah,
I don't know.
But his acting chop, this one showed he had
Yes.
acting chops,
Yes,
which was
I
like,
agree.
wow, it was good.
And the same could be said for Chris Evans,
Yep.
because I've yet to see him really, wow me in a non-Marvel role.
Well, there was one. I forgot what movie he did. He directed himself. It was him. It was about him and his daughter.
Okay.
And it was I forgot the name of it, but it was very heart-wrenching.
No, that's I stand corrected. I'm correcting myself. Snowpiercer. Did you guys see that one?
Is that what its name?
It takes place on a train in the future.
No.
Basically, it's like the Ark, and no one else has survived. There's like a huge storm outside. There's an ice storm. Nobody survived, but there's like a group of like 100 people on this train that's circling the Earth around and around. That's it.
Oh God.
It's a very, very dark sci-fi action thriller, and he's in it. He plays like the hero in a way.
Was this on Sci-Fi Network?
What?
Was this just on Sci-Fi Network?
No, this is a real movie. It came out a few years ago. Snowpiercer.
I'll have to look it up.
You guys haven't heard of this, Thomas?
I-
Sure, Randall. We'll,
Anyone?
we'll go along with your fake,
It's on
your
Netflix.
real movie.
It's on Netflix. Trust me, it's there.
It's on Netflix.
Oh, thank you, Ryan.
It's on Netflix.
Prove me wrong.
There
What?
you go.
I didn't hear that.
Ryan
There's a show
Rizzuti.
on TNT, which
Oh, look at that. There you
Thank
go.
you. Ryan
Yeah,
in my
we can
corner.
Go watch this movie.
Great.
also has Tilda Swinton and John Hurt in the film.
Yeah.
Oh,
Really?
Really great
John
cast.
Okay.
Snowpiercer. If you haven't seen it, go.
Also, the other movie was Gifted.
There we go. That was the one I was.
There he goes.
Thank you.
Director of 500 Days of Summer.
That's Mark Webb.
Mark Webb, of
We
course.
should just pull up a chair.
Yeah, you should just sit behind the couch.
Plant.
Perfect. Thank you, Ryan.
Thank you, Ryan.
Awesome. Well,
Oh, that worked.
that works. So, all right. Why don't we move on to our second, much more enjoyable film,
Ooh.
I'd say.
Yeah.
We've
Yes.
got the third installment, Chapter 3 of John Wick,
Oh,
Parabellum.
My husband.
A fan of Keanu over here. Okay.
Oh,
Just
Just a little bit.
just a little bit.
So yeah, basically, this is the third installment. He's beating up and killing a lot of people in this one. More
Have you
so,
not seen any of the other ones?
you are a much bigger fan than I am.
Yes.
So I think you should describe these.
Okay, so
But condense it. 'cause
condensing it,
I would
okay.
totally butcher it.
Okay, well, to give it because it literally is a movie that spans it's supposed to span the rate of a month.
The Russian mob kills his.
Basically, a Russian gangster steals his car, kills his dog, which basically was the last little bit of his wife that he had.
Who died of an illness.
Yeah, which nobody knows yet of
That's
what it
the
is.
girl from Blue Bloods, right? The one. From Blue Bloods?
I believe so.
I think so.
Forget her name.
I think so.
Yeah.
Forget her name.
Helen.
Yep.
Helen,
But,
yeah.
yeah.
Her name is
But
Wait, but why do they steal his car and kill him?
because
Because they liked his car.
That's it.
that was it.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yep.
And then he kills 400 people over the course of 5 years.
In the first one, he
Yeah.
See what you
killed.
can do with a simple concept like that.
He went
Yeah,
after the guy
true.
who killed his dog
Yes.
and stole his car
Yeah. Right.
because of the purpose of that. Like Dan said, that's the last thing he had from his wife.
Okay.
And literally, what was it? It was actually 3 days after his wife died.
Yep.
Okay.
No,
3
a day.
days.
A day.
A day
A
after
day
his wife died,
you killed
his
his
wife,
dog.
you killed his dog and stole his car.
Yeah.
Right.
Good luck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he's like
And he's a
apparently-
notorious
That's
hitman.
the thing.
Exactly.
Right.
You, when you look at him in the beginning, he's
like,
just a
whoa.
regular person, regular guy that's
Yeah.
living his life.
Right.
Then eventually you find out that he is this known hitman that everybody is
Baba Yaga.
terrified of. So-
Boyoga?
Baba Yaga.
Baba Yaga.
Yeah.
So
The boogeyman.
Boogeyman.
slowly
Is that
but
Russian?
surely, yes,
I think
It's
so.
Russian.
Yeah.
So slowly but surely, he goes through the ranks. He kills 157 people in the first movie.
Yeah.
Second movie, he's
Did you
out.
count them? Did you go ahead?
No, I actually looked it up on Google.
Nice.
There's 157.
157 in the first. Okay.
Second one goes up to 225 with an overall rating of about 90% headshots.
Yeah.
Basically, double tapping, one face, one chest, done.
Yeah, he does a lot of double shoots.
Yeah, well,
double
he
shots.
makes sure they're dead.
Yeah.
Because you can survive a head wound. You can't survive getting shot in the chest. So,
Well,
anyways,
if it's your right side.
yeah, but
But that's a collapse level.
yeah.
Okay.
So the second movie, he's out, he's done, he
Yeah.
puts his stuff away. The person that owns his marker comes back and goes, "I want you to do something else for me," and he's like, "Don't do it." Does it, and they basically are. It's a way of tying up loose ends.
Yeah.
He basically was like, "I can't have this happening." So basically, the movie is him getting away from every single assassin.
This is part 2.
This is part two.
part two.
This
Chapter
is him
2.
trying to get away from all the assassins in the world.
Right.
But then realizing that because of the marker, he just messed up everything else, so he had to try to stop that. Which then in clause goes into 3,
Yeah.
which is just was amazing.
Yeah.
But it's giving way to a whole.
Excommunicado.
It's like
Yes.
it's
You are
the
done.
snowball effect with John
Yeah.
going down into almost a boulder, and
The transition between 2 and 3 was pretty
Yeah,
seamless. It was great.
It was literally, that is supposedly about a half an hour after he leaves Central Park and gets into Times Square, which he's
Yep.
like still running because he's like, I'm screwed. I got to get out of here. I got to get to.
I have an hour.
I have an hour to get to the people that I need to get to get the hell
And
out.
sort of a nitpicky thing, but there's a scene where he's in the Oculus, the train station at World Trade Center.
Oh yeah.
And then he leaves, and he's in Times Square all of a sudden.
Yeah. There's a lot.
So that was kind of a little.
There's a lot of
yeah.
little scene checks where you sit there going, okay, well, they wanted to use one part of it, and like being a New Yorker, you know what's what in the
Yeah.
city.
Yeah.
So if you're going from the Oculus like here, then running out.
It's sort of a minor thing, but for New Yorkers, it's.
But that
yeah.
that was actually with the second one. He was in the Oculus for the second one. It was coming down from Lincoln Center, running into
That's it.
going into the Oculus,
That's it,
and then
yeah.
you're like, and then the journey from A to B
Right.
wasn't the exact train stop schedule for that train. So,
crazy.
but the third one just was phenomenal because it just keeps going from where it was, and the amount of ways he kills people is just ridiculous.
I liked it a lot. And I've seen online a bunch of people. This is my favorite scene too: the knife fight towards the beginning.
That was awesome.
Yeah,
that was
awesome.
where he basically has like an unlimited supply
Oh.
of throwing knives.
well.
Well, it's a knife store.
Yeah, well, no, it's actually.
Was it a?
I have very background knowledge because half of that knives collection was on my truck, and I delivered.
Oh my God!
I remember how I told you a while ago.
That
I'm
was like 2 years ago.
Yeah, I was dropping off to John Wick 3, and I'm like, I'm dropping off to John Wick 3. You're like, no, you're not. I'm like, I'm dropping off to John Wick 3. I just got stabbed by one of the bayonets that are in the freaking scene.
You hurt yourself with the prop.
I had a couple of bayonets caught me. 2 knives I found fell out, and they're sitting there on the thing, and I'm like, I'm sorry. The guy's like, as long as they're all there, I don't give a crap. I'm like, okay. He's like, they got 30 seconds of screen time, and 9% of them are going to be digital getting thrown. I'm like, oh, okay.
And that's the best scene in the movie. So you contributed to the best scene in the movie.
I still think like when they're upstairs with Winston. Actually, no. Like towards the end,
The
when
vault room.
Not the vault. That was funny as hell.
That was awesome.
That was funny.
Where he just has a drink. He's just sitting there sipping scotch while they're like shooting up everybody.
We need more firepower. And he's just sipping scotch nothing's wrong.
Thomas, what did you think of John Wick 3?
Oh, it was great,
Yeah.
man.
All right.
I mean,
It's
like-
exciting.
Yeah.
It doesn't let up.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's something I really liked. The fact that not once was it ever boring.
Right.
So it was basically
Yeah.
action packed from start to finish.
Even
So-
the non-action sequences were exciting.
Oh yeah. So
I have one criticism though: the gunfight between Keanu and Halle Berry against all those Moroccans.
Yeah.
That went on a little long,
Well,
in my opinion,
the-
and it was annoying in a way.
Yeah, but that was them completely.
That was them, yeah.
them during they
Well, I
actually
believe that,
did
yeah.
the whole training sequence they showed it on the line. They were like, okay, this is how they trained for that whole sequence.
It was very coordinated.
Yeah, but it was like I think it was more or less they were. It was this is the part where this is the only time she's gonna have the big fight scene. So
Yeah,
she's
that was like
yeah.
her only real scene.
But
Yeah.
also, what I did like about this movie as well is it wasn't always focused on Keanu, even though we all know that I love Keanu.
We know.
But they gave the other characters, their time to shine. Like not
The concierge?
Winston. Yes,
Yeah.
they gave
Carry
him a
On.
little bit.
What's
I
his
was like,
name?
Carry On.
ooh, carry on.
That's his name.
They gave him a little bit. I was like, yes. I was just
Karen.
so.
Lance Reddick, that's the name.
Yep.
He's so good.
He is.
I
He's
love
He never
fantastic.
smiles. He never shows emotion, really. Just kind of like smirking.
And every time that every time they get even close to to what do you call it, Continental. Wow, I can't believe I forgot that. It's like okay, no.
Okay.
The rules still apply. It's like wait a minute, but no. The rules still apply to him.
I can't believe the concierge got in the action. He started to kill. That was
God.
awesome.
That was.
Oh,
But I did
amazing.
like how they gave other characters more screen time
Yeah.
to where the character development we can see where these people are coming from. Because like even in 1 and 2, like Winston was like, oh, I know he's the the manager. Like I know who he is, but now I know like how almost not
deep the rabbit
minor
hole goes, right?
he is in this whole web of assassins of whatever they do. He's like here, in a tree of possibly millions of whatever is going on.
Yeah.
It
I love
broadened
I want to stay
the
there.
horizon
If
to
the
what.
Continental exists, I want to stay there.
You gotta make sure you have like a good amount of money,
make sure you
and
got
also-
lots of guns though.
and you
that's
killed
true.
at least 4 people.
You just need coins.
That's true.
Slide across the table.
And
The doctor in.
what do you guys think of? I guess like the main villain, Mark Gacastos.
Yeah, Mark Dacascos.
Yeah. He's a martial artist, a bald guy. Remember? Yeah.
Yeah, like
He
I know
was
him from
good.
the Crow TV series.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Oh, cool.
he
That was him.
All right.
Uh, He was also he's
seen him
been
in
many
random stuff.
many Jet Li films.
Yes,
Okay,
that's
cool.
how I
As the
know
villain.
him from.
He was funny too. Actually.
Yeah.
I was cracking
It was
Oh, yeah.
my
That was
favorite
just
scene was
wonderful.
when they were sitting on the couch, both of them, and he's like, "Yo, man,
Hey,
I'm
Oh,
your
no.
biggest fan." I was like, "What?"
No. I think the best was the fact that it was like there's certain like things where it's like you think people are gonna sit in certain spots, and he just sits
right next.
right next to him with
like
his
all
shoulder
casual.
right on him. It's like, dude, you have a whole couch. That's,
He's a fan. Hey,
It's an
well,
honor
I
to
guess
fight
anyone could be
you.
a fan of John Wick.
there you go.
heard so
Honor
many
to
stories.
fight you, Mr. Wick. He's like, just fight me. Like, I don't get it.
Oh, I still think the funniest.
Awesome.
Still, the funniest thing was the fact that all his students did the same thing. They're like, "Hey, John's like, you are like seriously kidding me on this one."
Yeah,
It's like, I'm going to kill you. Like, and you're excited about this? I mean, it was.
that was
it
a hell of a fight, man.
I mean, like,
Yeah.
Keanu was going
Oh,
through
sorry,
class after
everybody.
class after class.
Yeah. Oh dear.
Sorry, everybody.
No worries.
Sorry.
I'm loving this ringtone, by the way.
It's not.
Not a
It's my,
ringtone, it's
it's my blood glucose levels.
Oh, okay, there you go.
It's a thing to keep her alive.
All right. Do you need to step away for a second?
No, I'm good.
Okay, good.
She's only
Cool.
I'm
So,
only what?
at 213 and rising.
That's nice. I know that you're the diabetic. You can understand this.
so Caitlin, we obviously know you're a Keanu fan through and through. Are you a fan of Mr. Reeves?
Yeah, I am. I mean, I really love the Bill and Ted movies.
Okay, yeah.
Can't forget about those ones.
Excited for part 3?
Absolutely.
Can't wait.
Yeah, that should be good. That should be good.
Make sure you watch it a couple times. Whoa.
I want to see a movie with Nicolas Cage and Keanu
Oh.
head to head.
Oh no. I think.
Wild Stallions.
Yeah, that's gonna be good.
Yeah.
So much fun.
Dan, are you a Keanu buff?
Oh yeah. Well, I do technically dress like him at different conventions.
I know. Wait a minute, but you've been. I know you've been Wick. Mm-hmm. Who else? Have you been other Keanu characters?
I've been trying to get
Neo?
Bill and Ted. No, I never did. I never. That was the one series of his. I liked it. I never got into it.
They're good.
I kind of just. It got. The first one was good.
The second one was
Second
strange
was,
as hell.
Yeah, and then the
So
third one
good,
was
though.
just like, well, let's see what animation they could do. So the first one was like definitely was great, but I never got like completely into the Matrix series.
Oh, the Matrix. Yeah.
I was actually going to start trying to do a Ted costume from the first one, but then I was like, maybe I could do the second one, but then I'm like, I can't find a jacket that
Isn't
would
it just ripped jeans and orange jacket and sneakers?
Yeah, that's the second one. But the first one's a completely different. It's a like more, I guess, grungy style.
All right.
Which I was like, all right, that looks all right.
Okay. Do it if you want.
But it's your mom, dude.
Don't forget your guitar.
Yeah.
For me, I think the first time I noticed Keanu was Speed.
Yes.
1994.
Yes.
Perfect movie for a 9-year-old. Totally
Yeah.
violent and.
Oh yeah.
I mean, it was okay. It was
Look how he
okay.
grew up.
Yeah.
He was wanted hitman ever.
Yep. But at the same time, what was it? Well, actually, with him, I love his actual backstory where he was like a struggling like actor, got married, wife died to I think it was a cancer of some sorts, and then he just slowly spiraled into like bad movie after bad movie, and
Yeah, Johnny Mnemonic.
yeah, he did a lot of like I'm doing it for the money, that's it.
Yeah.
So he started going to like the kind of the idea like where it was the whole drug kind of like drop, like it wasn't. I don't even think he did drugs, but it was more of the
Depression.
slow, like dark roll down to like the floor, and then eventually he found some kind of niche and he brought himself back up because I know.
Was that The Matrix?
I think it might have been, but at the same time, like it was like the third.
Because there was like a period of time where he didn't really have many
Yeah,
movies.
I think it was after the Matrix. That was kind of like
Where he just kind of.
the peter out, where it's like he stopped and he was
After
like,
Revolutions.
and then I think it was L.A. Kings. That was the one.
So he plays a cop in that, right?
Street Kings. That was
I heard
it.
that was really good.
It was
actually. I didn't see
fantastic.
it.
Actually, also Captain America's in it.
Oh, Chris Evans. Must
good
have been
old.
young, yeah.
And I still think one of the funniest scenes of that movie was the fact that he grabs. It was T.I. He shoves T.I. down. He's got him handcuffed, and he's like, just tell me where they are. Tell me where they are. And then like Chris Evans was like, oh no, you basically like throwing him down, giving it like wasn't even saying words. He takes a phone book and just cracks him across the head. And then Chris Evans is like, are you supposed to ask him why they are like ask him what like a question first? He goes, all right, where are they? Boom! Hits him again. He's like, oh dude.
And in John Wick 3, he uses a book to kill a man.
I told.
That was pretty impressive.
Yeah.
I was like, whoa!
And the guy was
From a pencil to a book.
Yeah.
He's creative.
Yeah.
And also the audience that we were sitting in when we were watching this we were like, ooh!
Everyone in the room.
I was like that myself.
Right?
Due to the fact we were 4 hours in, we saw it at the Alamo Draft
sweet.
House.
So we went from John Wick 1 to John Wick 2,
did a
right into
marathon?
John Wick. Yeah, we did the marathon.
In one day?
And yeah,
6
hours.
Where's my invitation? No.
Well, it was my
good.
birthday present.
Oh,
It
okay.
was, yeah.
It was my birthday
I
present.
saw it online and I was like,
So how did
click.
they?
Like, it had to happen.
Did
And
they broke it up with like little like?
yeah,
half
we
an
had
hour.
half hour
Okay, that's good.
intermissions, but it was food, drinks, you
What
know.
time did you start?
Oh, we start. What was it?
10?
7 o'clock. We started
Nice.
at 7 o'clock.
7
yep.
o'clock.
And you got home at
1:40
7 in the morning.
1:40 in the morning. Yeah.
Oh God,
And it was in Yonkers.
not bad
Yep.
actually.
So.
I would. That's awesome.
But it was
was
a nice
fantastic.
experience, especially for that kind of theater, because we were in the second row. But the way the theater is set up, it was just like you don't have to crack your neck to look at it.
Yeah,
It's still the
you
screen
still-
is right there. You could see everything.
That's a great theater.
And I've been there once. I've been there once before to see Ghostbusters 1 and 2 back to back. So I was like
On 80 reel.
on 80
cool.
reel. Yeah,
All right.
that was pretty cool. And I saw John Wick, and I was like,
Definitely.
Dan,
Yeah.
didn't we see Groundhog Day there 2 years ago?
I wasn't there for that one because
Okay.
I'm not a big fan of Groundhog's Day.
Great movie. Come on.
I know.
Aside from Ghostbusters, that's
What?
Bill Murray's best movie.
Groundhog Day was it's like one of my favorites.
It's so good, Dan.
I never really
No hate right here, but
I never really got
No.
into it. It
There
always-
is judgment.
But still, it's his opinion. So.
Yeah.
Alright.
Well, no. I'll hear
getting
about
you
it.
this on, like,
I'll hear
4K
about it
HD.
later.
Well, in your defense, I never really liked The Princess Bride. So I don't. Yeah, I'm not gonna go. Okay. Was that
Whoa.
worse?
Yeah, it's worse.
It's good. I don't think it's phenomenal. I mean,
What?
I didn't love it. I didn't
Oh
love
my
it.
god.
Well, we all have movies like that. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Thomas, what was one of your a fan favorite that you don't think is that great?
Okay, well, maybe we get some hate for this, but I wasn't a really big fan of Inglourious Bastards.
Oh, I'm not a fan of that either. I'm with him on
That's
that.
a love-hate movie, I'd say. Yeah.
It's like either you love it or you hate it.
Yeah,
I was
yeah,
just like,
yeah.
I hate it.
I mean, I didn't really. I thought it was great.
Yeah,
Fantastic
Yeah, there's
acting.
things, of course, I did like in it,
Yeah.
but overall, I mean, I just found the movie pretty boring.
It is a
Yeah.
little dull at certain points,
Yep.
Yeah.
punctuated with like huge, like tense horror/action moments.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, Eli Roth, like all
And
the
it was
parts
almost
were-
like a comedy. I'm like, this
Yeah.
isn't funny.
It's so
like,
bloody, it's funny.
Yeah. Well, it was Eli Roth. A good amount of times, like the scenes that Eli Roth directed, those were the ones that were the bloody ones. Everything else was like back to like the original like director. Where like, you're like, okay, we're gonna do like a bad like bloody scene. Eli, you want to take over this?
Well, he does have a lot of experience with horror.
Yes.
That's true.
Oh,
True. Well,
Cabin in the
the
Woods.
Hostels, right? He did.
Hostels, yes, and the first Cabin Fever.
Yep.
Is that,
that
with
was it,
Ryder
Cabin-
Strong?
Yeah, Ryder Strong.
Yeah.
Cabin Fever. Oh my God, that was.
I didn't even see it. Was that kind of sort of a Friday the 13th kind of?
Not really. I mean, like, cause like it was. Of course, it was like set, of course, in a cabin in the woods.
Yeah.
But like, there was no like man in a mask stalking them. It was,
I didn't see it, so
Yeah,
but
it was this flesh-eating virus.
Oh,
Yep.
okay.
And it got like very gory.
One of those.
Yeah. It's,
he was reacting
yeah.
to.
It's a little bit.
Well, guys, we have a couple minutes left. I just wanted to go around. Anything we want to plug or talk about? Anything coming up you want to discuss, Thomas?
Okay, well,
Sorry to put you on the spot, but I do that with everybody.
Yeah.
that's fine.
You get used to it after a while.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not really too sure. I mean,
Okay.
like,
That's fine.
yeah,
All right. Just being awesome.
yeah.
Yep.
I mean,
Kate,
like,
yeah. Caitlin, anything?
I mean, nothing really new. You can follow me on Instagram, Facebook. Don't do Twitter. I don't even know my Twitter account.
What are they?
Good question. I really don't remember. But Lithy's cosplay on Instagram, Lithy's cosplay on Facebook. I don't do Twitter. I don't understand Twitter.
Also
Still
fan.
trying to
Yeah.
still trying to do the YouTube channel with this one. We still have to get that set up and running.
Yeah,
and that's after the apartment.
It is
so.
done.
What will that consist of? What types of...
Gaming.
Yeah,
Okay.
gaming,
Reviews?
little silly stuff.
As a matter of fact, I actually do horror movie reviews on
Oh,
YouTube.
yeah.
So I can bring
There
that
we
up
go.
so you can check out my reviews on YouTube.
What's the name? How do people...
Well, my name on
Your-
YouTube is
okay.
JLA12589.
Okay.
So,
Justice League of America?
yep.
Nice. Nice
Nice.
choice.
Fan of them.
The better of the Justice Leagues. Oh, yeah, man.
That's a movie I can't stand.
Oh.
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
That's a train wreck.
I think
that
I liked
you
it more
need
than
to watch,
Batman
and it's
v
really
Superman,
bad.
though.
No, that was even worse than a train
Nothing,
wreck.
nothing can top Batman versus Superman.
I
It's
fell
terrible.
asleep during that movie. It was horrendous.
Yeah, good.
I was like, I wasted my money.
Yeah.
Right,
Oh, we're
agrees.
getting better solo
Ryan
movies, though,
agrees.
with like Aquaman
Oh,
and Shazam.
and that kind of segues into a relatively fresh topic. Robert Pattinson as Batman.
Stop.
Thoughts?
If he sparkles, I'm walking out.
Yeah, I can't wait actually. Like to see.
Really?
I want to see what he can.
You want to see how
bring.
bad it's going to be?
Well, no.
No, he's a very good actor.
Yeah.
And-
I haven't seen much of his.
but
work.
because of
The
Twilight
Twilight,
and
yeah.
sparkles, and you know what?
I've been saying
I mean,
that to a lot of people myself.
Like
that's such a bad.
He was in like
You
a
know.
couple like not like old like type of western, but he was in a couple westerns that were actually
Huh.
like his
Decent.
character. Yeah, the
Okay.
character was actually decent. He played an ass a complete asshat, but still.
Yeah, I just.
I mean,
don't know.
I you know what?
don't-
But there's something I want to bring up.
Yeah,
The whole
yeah.
Robert Pattinson as Batman is like, well, maybe a lot of people are getting like, get all mad that he's, well, because obviously his reputation was tarnished by Twilight, but
Yeah.
you should also trust the director, Matt Reeves.
Right.
I mean,
Yeah.
he directed
Reeves has done
Cloverfield.
I love
Yeah.
Cloverfield.
He also directed Let Me In.
Do you think this is
Yep.
going to be a found footage Batman?
No,
No.
absolutely
That'd be
not.
very interesting,
but,
though.
But he also directed the two Apes movies, Dawn of the Planet of the Apes and War
And
for
they
the
were-
Planet of the Apes. I mean,
Oh, those were
Fantastic.
really
those
good.
phenomenal movies.
Well, I don't question his ability as a director. I just really don't like Pattinson. I think he's just a pretty boy.
Because that's where his
But-
reputation was started.
Right.
I mean,
So but he does have a new movie that's getting kind of a lot of buzz called High Life, where he plays an astronaut. It's sort of a smaller film, but maybe I should check out the stuff you've mentioned.
Yeah, definitely check out the westerns
Yeah.
because it is like I said, he plays.
he's a
kind of
good
an asshat,
actor. He
but
just
he's-
needs the right movie for people to actually look at him and look past the Twilight and sparkles.
Yeah.
For him to really be noticed as an actor.
It's kind of
to
like
me.
Affleck with being Batman. Nobody could look past Daredevil.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like Daredevil, the first Daredevil.
I don't.
It was fun.
I don't know
I thought
you.
it was very good. Michael Clark Duncan as Kingpin. I thought that was good.
don't
cast.
know you.
You don't like Groundhog Day. He's allowed to have a good movie that.
Princess Bride.
Damn it.
That's also another strike on him. But we're not going there.
No.
As you
Thought I was saving on myself with that one. Damn it.
So, guys, real quick, what's coming out that you're looking forward to seeing, Thomas? Damn it. We'll save you for the end game.
Well, next week I'm really looking forward to Brightburn.
Oh, yeah, you've been mentioning that to me. Yeah,
Yeah,
kinda
because I
looking
just really like how it's like basically the story of Superman, but being told as he's a villain instead of a hero.
Yeah.
Isn't that
yeah.
also a horror class, like a horror kind of?
It's got a horror.
It's got a horror
element to it.
theme.
Very hard element.
Definitely does.
Which
See,
is,
I send my sister to go see horror films, and then she comes back and tells me all about it. I don't actually go see horror films.
right. She gives you like
Those
the
are my kind of movies.
PG-13 version, right?
She just tells me what happens at the end. I'm like, okay, cool, thanks.
gives-
That's all I need to know.
She gives you the whole idea of what goes on on
But I
US
still don't know what
Network.
happened with the nun. She won't go see the nun for me.
That movie was so bad.
It was?
Good.
Oh, okay. So maybe I can go see it in my living room.
Yeah. And it also had Thaisa Farmiga, who was in
I think it's Tasia.
Tasia.
Tasia?
I'm
Thank
pretty sure
you.
that's how you pronounce it.
Who was in the Castle movie. So, yeah. She's a good actress, though. I mean, yeah. Dan, what are you looking forward to?
Ooh, I'm trying to not say what she's looking forward to because I know I'm looking forward
I
to
know
one of
it.
them.
Oh my god, I can't wait.
I'm looking forward to one movie at the end of the month.
Yes, that's my
Oh,
movie.
yeah.
Don't say it.
And
Don't
I think-
say it.
You got us on that one too.
Giant Monster.
Oh yeah.
Oh my god, Godzilla King of Monsters. Let's just say it. I cannot wait for this movie.
I think you guys are coming back for that.
Yeah.
All right. Good to know. Good to know.
We are looking so forward for that one. That
Really?
one. Oh.
I'll have to watch
Cannot wait.
I still have to watch the first Godzilla with Cranston. Yeah.
Andy.
And
You're
Kong.
hurting me.
I know, Skull Island, yeah.
Yeah, well, no.
Is that my homework, those two?
Those two, yes. And like this actually, I'm not gonna say who
See
I.
the 2001? Did you go through that train wreck before you see the better ones?
Wait, you mean the
one?
Matthew Broderick?
I think it's that.
That was 98.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It was
Yeah, it was
1998.
Oh, sorry, my bad.
No, it's a terrible movie. It's a lot of fun though. The action
It's
sequences,
fun,
they're
but
really good.
you gotta go
It did
through
have
that
some pretty
train
good practical
wreck
effects
It
as
has
well.
practical and computer
okay.
generated.
I will.
Because
no,
the newer movies are very overblown with CGI.
Oh, yeah,
so.
Yeah, but you. Like that one, like it was like paint by numbers. I hate to say it.
Well, yeah, and why Matthew Broderick? I mean, he's nerdy, he's cool. Like, it's weird.
No.
That's a lot of fish.
Yeah.
All right, guys. So I'm going to end because we've got just our sponsor plugs. Just one. June 19th is the Psychic Fair at the courthouse. Actually, no, scratch that. July 28th is the Awaken Fair at the Roger Smith Hotel in New York City. And I just want to thank everyone today. Thank you, guys.
Yeah.
Dan?
I have one thing to plug because.
We forgot. Plug away.
Because if I don't, I'll be either told that you didn't plug our show again. So June 23rd and 24th, Eternal Con. We have
sorry.
so many new people coming down. We have the lady who played Mantis in the Guardians of the Galaxy movie.
She is going to be there.
Nice.
The entire original cast of Sesame Street is making their 30th.
Carol Spinney.
Yep, you'll be there.
Cool.
The
Be there.
cast of Sesame Street will be there. We still have a couple more names that we're going to add. The guy who played the Red Skull in both Endgame and Infinity Wars.
Wait a minute. That's not
It's not Hugo Weaving.
not
No,
Hugo.
no,
No.
Hugo, but the newer guy. I forgot what he plays. One of the villains on the Walking Dead series.
Oh.
But he's going to be down there. A couple other names that I'm drawing a blank on. I think it's like Thomas Barr or something. He was in.
All right, and what is your role with the festival?
Well, this year and last year, I actually had a panel, and
Nice.
this year, me and Caitlin have a panel on how to basically the ABCs of cosplay from idea to completion.
Nice.
So that's good. We're gonna be there.
Cosplay
we have
101.
Yeah,
Yep.
almost.
We have no idea when we're gonna the panel's gonna be, but
All right.
We'll figure it out.
our good friend Ken Deep is actually gonna be is doing the whole hopefully doing all the planning for this. He actually does Long Island Who.
Who?
Yes.
All
Who.
right. That was awesome. We look forward to Eternal Con.
Yes.
Eternal Con.
Sweet.
June 22nd and 23rd.
Where is that again?
At the Nassau Coliseum.
Sweet.
Tickets are available now.
Cool.
Is it the Nassau Coliseum or
Nassau
the Cradle of
Coliseum.
Aviation?
No, it's Nassau Coliseum.
Oh, you upgraded.
The other convention we do not speak of because
Gotcha.
Competition.
yes. Thomas has got it on the nose.
All right, guys. Well, again, thank you. This was awesome, and you guys are welcome back anytime. Okay.
We'll be back on the
Yeah, you'll be back in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
All right, guys. So I want to thank
Yeah.
everyone watching at home and on your devices, and we'll be back with more Under the Radar next week. I'm your host, Randy Younger. Thanks so much for watching. Take care.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Under the Radar is all new next week with more movie reviews and interviews on Strong Island Radio and Television. Stay tuned. We'll see you next week.